you never said like we hate the labels. You guys just said
that wasn't our rhetoric at all.
For us is we have seen the value that we bring to the table. We love ownership. We're going to take this as far as we possibly can because we have the proper infrastructure to actually take this to the levels that we feel because we're seeing it in real time. Yeah. Plus, we're making revenues that are real, and we can reinvest the revenues back into the project.
Correct.
And the priority is Daniel Caesar. The priority isn't 70 other artists on a major record label, which you can get lost in that sauce real fast. Right? So I'm happy that you cleared that up because it was never that. It was never anti-label. As a matter of fact, how could you be anti-label when your biggest record, you started a label, but then your biggest record was with an artist who was on RCA with her. You know, Gabby, best part. You need,
although,
okay.
We worked the fuck out of that record.
Well, okay, so that's a question I had.
The irony is, we worked that record. RCA, shout out to RCA though. We
okay. I had that question.
RCA was just like, okay, cool. And shout out to Jeff Robinson because Jeff Robinson obviously allowed us to share in that record. Yeah. He was an amazing support, and he was really our biggest advocate because RCA was on some like, okay, who are these little timers?
Oh wait, Jeff Robinson,
who used to manage?
Who managed her?
He was very like instrumental in telling the label like, no, like let
you
these guys cook.
You should explain how we share it too.
Right.
It's rare.
It is rare. So even that in itself. So after the record was made between Daniel and her, we weren't really sure like where it was gonna live. They kind of just made the record.
Yeah.
But we were finishing up Freudian at the time. We were in the process of like last chapter. And I remember I was in LA, Jordan was home. Shout out to Tunji. Tunji set up the session.
A real one.
A real one. Talk about ears, like one of the best ears.
One of the best ears of all time. Tunji's now CEO of Def Jam.
Yeah, amazing.
President.
So shout out to Tunji. Yeah. He set up that session, and we had always wanted to work with her because Anthony put us onto her.
Crazy. It was Anthony as well.
Shout out to Anthony.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He put us onto her. I did not know that. In New York, I think around the time we were doing SOBs, and we just had her Volume 1 on repeat, like religiously. Yep. So we were already fans. So the session got set up. Went there, did the record. Even how that happened was crazy. It was actually going to be Daniel, her, and Camper. Shout out to Camper. But Camper came to the session, but he had to leave early to go back to the session that he previously had come from. So Danny started playing the chords for Best Part. They kind of started mumbling a couple things. Camper came in, they started something else, but then Camper had to leave. And it was actually her who said, hey, can we go back to those chords that you first started playing, Daniel? He went back to the chords, and at that point, Jeff and I felt like, hey, we should probably leave the room. So we left the room. We were in the lounge, and like I want to say it was like 5:30 in the morning. Half of us are stuck. Me, Natalie, who managed Camper, and then also Jeff are like half sleeping in the lounge. And they walk in. Danny and her walk in. They're like, hey, we think we have something. Can you come listen? So we stumble in there. Everybody's half tired, and they press play on Best Part. And I remember being like, okay, interesting. And it was Jeff who called it right away. He's like, this is going to be a very important record. He's like, this is going to be the next duet of the next decade.
Wow, he said that in the room?
Oh, bro, he called it early. So then I got the bounce, I sent it to Jordan. I knock out. I wake up to like 20 text messages and like 10 calls from this nigga. And he's just like, yo, bro, are you crazy? Bro, what am I hearing? Bro, this is crazy. Bro, we need this. We need this for the record. We don't have a moment like this on the record. We need this. Like, this completes it. Bro, are you crazy? Call me. Answer. Please answer your phone, Matthew.
That is a...
The album is not coming out without Best Part.
That is not a producer talk. That is a manager talking right now.
He's just such a bully. He has a mixer. He'd be like, yo, this record...
Oh, that's the mixer again.
So literally, I'm just like, okay, so we talk about it. I'm just like, well, I don't even know if she wants to use it. So I try to get a hold of Jeff. And Jeff knew what I wanted. So he ducked me. That man, he ducked me for like 2 weeks. I was chasing
everyone knows, you hear it right away. Everyone knew what that song is.
So hold on. So then that record at that point in time is for Gabby. Her.
It was kind of undecided, but it was her session. So like, Tony set up the session, but it was for her. And like, he just brought Danny.
So now Jeff knows what he has.
To make a song. So Jeff obviously knows, smart man. He also has a great ear. Shout out to Jeff. Obviously, I got one. But like, I don't know if they necessarily had plans in terms of what it would be used for. So I spent 2 weeks chasing that man, calling, texting. Jeff, I called you. Oh, my bad. I was busy. Jeff, can you call me back? I call him, hit you tomorrow. No call. Jeff, I need to talk to you.
Finally. And he's very responsive otherwise.
Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Like, he's sending me like, IG videos, but it's like he just would not take my call. So finally he accepted my phone call. And I said, Jeff, and he said, what can I do for you? And I said, I need the song. I was like, I need the song. And like Jeff and I had a really good relationship.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Why did you make the call and not Jordan make the call?
Jeff, I was like his little bro. Like,
were you? Okay.
I didn't have the stage.
Yeah, like
so you knew.
In that session, we bonded and like, we hit it off. And he's like, yo, like, I like your energy. You know what I'm saying?
That's also important as well too. Having two managers, I think, is like super clutch because
we know who is the right person. Because as you
communicate,
can tell, we're very different.
Yeah.
So we know who's the right person.
I always used to say Bernie was like Byron, and Jordan was like, we would always say that. Be like, it's kind of the same,
100%.
But what's interesting is like when you have two, you could do the good cop bad cop thing.
Yeah,
but it changes. Like
for sure.
It
does change for sure all the time. Yeah, except more times it's probably the bad cop over here.
You'd be surprised.
Good cop. Really?
It's kind of 50-50.
Yeah.
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
We think, okay, this personality, this is a Jordan conversation, or this personality is definitely a Matt conversation.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I feel like certain things irritate us more or less. Just like certain things, he may be like, bro,
I can't talk to this guy.
It's not that big of a deal, and I'll be like, bro, you crazy? Like that's
right.
No, like. You gotta like XYZ ABC, you know what I'm saying? And the other things you'd be like, yo, we can't let that slide, and I'd be more passive. So in terms of who's good cop, bad cop,
for sure.
And also who cares about
who got triggered?
Real shit.
By the depends on who got triggered and how much.
How much. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you called Jeff, so you're telling him.
Finally got him on the phone. I said, I need the song. He laughs, and he's just like, I know. And I said, that's what you've been ducking me. And
you told him straight, flat out.
Well, Jeff and I had that relationship.
We were cool, yeah.
We just talk straight. So I said, I need the song, and he's just like, well.
It's a desperation.
Oh, bro, I was so desperate. I'm just like, please, like, I need the song. Like,
just said, please.
And he was
went into your Canadian bag. It's like, please.
Legit. And he was kind of just like, okay, well, we also want to put it out. So what does that look like? And I was like, well, we had some thoughts on this. And Jordan and I had obviously game time before.
For sure.
We talk about everything. And I was like, what if, we put it out first? I was like, hear me out. We put it out first. We share in the record 50-50. So we share in the master. 50% Golden Child, 50% RCA. And then when you guys are ready, we use the same version, or you could reproduce or whatever you want, and then it comes out on H.E.R.'s record later on. I said, win-win. The profit from ours, we share with you. Profit from yours, you share with us. Match made in heaven. And he was kind of just like, interesting. He's like, okay. He's like, you're lucky I like you. He's like, you're lucky you're my little bro. He's like, I wouldn't say yes to anybody else if it wasn't for you.
Right.
I thought, okay. So I'm like, does this mean that I have it? So he was kind of just like, you know what? You guys can produce it. Produce it down and then send it to me and we'll take it from there. So Jordan and I produced it, sent it over. They loved it. And he was kind of just like, don't worry about RCA. Let me handle them. I'll talk to them. Because half the battle is like him saying yes, but RCA is not going to necessarily want to share the match with anybody, especially
two kids.
No label to them, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we're just these little cute Canadians.
You also turned down a record deal offer from them.
Like 6 months prior.
Yeah,
So there was no incentive for them to say yes to that. But Jeff was just like, let me have these conversations. I'll take care of it and I'll get it done. And he did. He told them this is like, it wasn't a conversation. It's like, this is what we're doing. We're sharing it 50-50. We're going to respect them, what they want to do. And we're going to let them do what they do. And I was just like, okay, amazing. And so that's literally how the record came about. We dropped it. And I say all this to say, like, we worked the shit out of that record. And Jeff was very supportive. Anything we needed from Jeff and from her and from the label, he's just like, yo, you got it.
Yeah, and they did everything.
Bro, like, we did everything. We promoted the shit.
Everything we asked. We shot a music video, didn't like it. Shot another music video.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shot 2 videos. Like,
you shot 2 videos before you came to us?
Yeah. No, we shot one.
Did you like the video that we did?
The video.
The video? Yeah.
Of course. That's a classic.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
By the way, can I have a plaque for that video? Yeah.
A video plaque?
Yeah.
What do you want to say on the plaque?
It happens all the time.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Please.
Period.
Mauricio Ruiz. I go from Mauricio Ruiz, Mad Rock.
Send the design.
Something like.
We'll pass it through.
Yeah. We get plaques all the time. I used to see Director X and
video
Taj.
plaques. That's cool.
Director X and Taj have
what is a plaque?
Kinds of
is
videos.
it
makes sense,
the record or is it
promotion
performance of video? What does it just say? Or is it just like the plaque?
It's just a plaque that you guys have.
Yeah,
and then it just says to Mauricio Ruiz or to Mad Rock or whatever, you know.
That's cool. I like that.
That's cool.
Can we do that?
You can do that.
Sick. All right.
He's like, I'm gonna ask you guys on the spot.
I set this whole thing up
that's what this
just to get a plaque.
I got proof.
It's the only reason why I did this is just to get
like
this.
5 cameras.
Yeah, 5.
Every angle.
7 years later, you know. To be honest with you, it was like Kayvon and Sean really took the and Eva.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shit out of
Shout out to Eva.
Shout out to Eva G. really produced the shit out of that video. Like, incredible video.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you guys shot a first video.
Yeah, for that. Shot the first one. We shot it was a shot on iPhone. We were trying to do that.
Yeah,
it's hard to make something.
Yeah,
that's hard.
Yeah.
It's especially like it's shot on iPhone. Yeah, especially at that time. Different iPhones back then.
Yeah,
they say shot on iPhone, but you don't say that there's all these other things around it to make it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And post and all that stuff. But
yeah. So I was curious about that. Not the plaque. We sorted that out. I'll pay for mine too as well. Don't worry. I'll take care of the bill. The level of promotion, I always thought about that, and I was like, how much did RCA come through? But you're saying no, you guys really went to work with
that. Because I think,
and let's just keep it a buck, like you guys.
That was
you guys.
That was us leading the charge, and Jeff being like, leave them alone, let them do what they do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah. Because again, he's like, yo, you guys are doing something that's working already. You guys have rolling steam, and it's like, you guys take the lead on this, and like do what you got to do, and whatever support you need, I'm here.
So what did that look like? Like, if you can remember, like, what the strategy was, and like, how did you lead it out, like, with the partners? Like, if you can go into some of the details, because I think that'd be super helpful.
Yeah, sure. We broke so much ground with Get You that it was. Get You was like, I remember going into, we had radio meetings. So by this point, to build on what you said about building out the team, Get You starts to work. That's when we add publicists. That's when we add independent radio. And this was before, it was R&B music that was on adult R&B.
Yeah.
So you couldn't get it on Rhythmic. You couldn't get it on these stations. So we would go and play Get You. It was already getting some traction. And the radio programmers would always say, beautiful song. It doesn't fit our programming. So, and then, Redbone happened, Childish Gambino, and they did something inventive. They did something groundbreaking where they had the same thing where when they came to radio, they said, no, this doesn't fit our programming, like Rhythmic or anything like that. So they started it at adult R&B, number one, and then they crossed over.
Right.
So that's when we said, okay, let's try to do that. So we have radio, and we ended up with a number one with that song. So we broke ground in radio. We had a publicist starting to make, it's like Anthony is like underground publicist. He's doing
street publicist.
That's a good like street publicist,
street
right?
publicist,
which is so important.
Super important.
And then you have,
especially in this space.
Yeah, exactly. And then we had Felicia, and that was like, okay, now we're getting the message out, and we're bringing in different opportunities, right? And then we're building on our relationships with streaming. With one hit. Mm-hmm. So a big part of it is when you go to streaming and you say, okay, what's next?
Right.
Or you have an album coming now, Get You, great song, that came out a year ago. What's the focus track? What are we gonna push? So we knew it was Best Part. So it was like, okay, now we got to shoot a video. We have to do everything in preparation for this song being the song. So all of the focus around his debut album with a hot single already was like, now let's make it about Best Part.
Right.
And then just every single opportunity that came in was Best
Part. You just completely shifted the focus on the one record.
TV opportunity. You start to get hot. Your publicist has relationships with TV. So now now you get to do, I don't remember those first ones were. It's like Corden we did.
Jules Holland.
That
was a big one too.
But every opportunity was, it's Best Part. Everything is Best Part.
Yeah.
Complete focus.
Coachella, then Coachella happened, which was perfect timing. So we brought her out. We did Best Part together there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so again, to his point, it's just like, we're just activating, and once you switch focus, because we were already hot, the album was connecting. It was just like, the floodgates opened up.
Are you splitting the costs with RCA?
Right? So,
technically,
it's a 50-50 deal.
Yeah.
So we paid for radio.
You guys did.
We paid for radio.
They never paid.
No, I don't know if they ever.
I guess technically on the bus, like you deducted from.
Yeah.
But I mean, our investment.
How much are you paying the radio?
200, give or take.
What did it? 200,000.
Probably, give or take.
When it was all said and done, how much are you starting with?
Half, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So
it's like putting that saying this is going to be, and then you pay, of course, based on
performance.
Yeah.
Syndication.
Yep.
Number one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's almost like a bonus for the promoter.
Right.
You know? And one thing that they explained to us.
Who's they?
Are independent radio promoters. So people that you hire, like a publicist you hire to get print and TV.
Did you do it with Mike Cajulis?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one thing Mike explained to me was, part of the reason why it's so difficult for independent artists is because, you might have one song that you bring to them with a lot of money and say, I have the whole budget to be able to do this. And you're bringing to the radio programmers.
Yeah.
But they're getting that same song weekly, week over week from Universal, from Warner, so you just have to think like, you're not going to be a priority to them.
Right.
Unless culturally it matters. And then we got into that place where it started to matter culturally. So I remember having a conversation we're getting a lot of play on, iHeart radio stations, getting a lot of play on and I remember having conversations with them and them explaining that there's such a demand for this song. This is best part now. We're gonna put it in syndication, meaning across all our stations.
Yeah.
Because it matters.
Right.
So it's rare. But
it's undeniable at this point.
Yeah, yeah. When it's undeniable, it doesn't matter if you're independent or not.
Right.
But it's back to his point, the power of having a hit.
Yeah.
If you don't have a hit, everything is way harder because the hit opens every door. Every conversation is, oh, you have this song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like? Or what do you want to do?
Yeah.
So it's a matter of that it's momentum. So you have to, okay, we have this. We had that first one. We better come with the next one.
Yeah.
That was the best part. So we knew it's like back to,
that's,
we're talking about Boy Wonder and seeing when you have a moment and all the doors open and everyone is excited. It's like that's when you have to. So we knew the best part.
Momentum,
like, this is an investment that is going to pay dividends.
I talked to Troy a couple of weeks ago and he said the same thing. I asked him, with Gaga, how did you go from the 150 cap room to 20,000? He's like, hits.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hits.
Mm-hmm. That's the name of the game, bro.
Yeah.
Go from having a hit to hopefully getting people to care about the artist. And that's hard. That's a step. Because a lot of artists, they stop at the hit.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can't really sell the arena, but you got to be invested with the artist. Yeah, in order for people to come and show up and care, right?
To
care about the artist.
To care.
Yeah.